Happy National Women Chiropractors Day. So as you know, I'm here in Alaska, and I have with me Dr. Aliana Melendez in St. Augustine, Florida. So welcome, Doc.
Thank you so much, Dr. Barbara, for having me join with you today in this special day for all of us women chiropractors.
Absolutely. My absolute pleasure. I'm wrangling two dogs, so if all of a sudden you see me take off, it's because I've got to go put them somewhere. I have my housekeepers here. They're doing my windows today, and it's National Women Chiropractors Day, so it is a busy day. You know, I think I'm going to take this off. You see this one?
Hey, Poppy.
Oh. Can you still hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So let's just jump in. Before we went live, Dr. Aliana told me that her office is so busy. And you know, the thing that I loved the most about what you said is we're just so busy because people just really, really need us. So number one, thank you so much for being there, nurturing individuals when they need it. I mean, there's just like so much stress that people desperately need us. Let's talk about what are you seeing in practice, and how as a female chiropractor are you answering the demand of the times?
So, I've been a chiropractor for 2 years now. I opened my office about a year and a half ago. It was kind of like it wasn't planned. I thought when I was finishing school, I thought I was going to go as an associate doctor with someone else, and that just didn't work out. It wasn't the place that I wanted to be, and it didn't allow me to grow as I wanted to. So I opened this practice in October, and in August, at the end of August, I joined the boot camp. So kind of like a month and a half before I opened in my office, I jumped on and joined the boot camp. And, you know, during these times, first I have to say that there's only about 5 chiropractors in the town that I am, and there's only 2 female chiropractors, and one of them is me. Most of the time, when someone comes into my office, they have 0 to maybe 20% idea of what we do, right? So during that first visit, we definitely get the chance to get to know the person and see what's actually going on with them. But I take a little bit of time on really educate them why they're visiting a chiropractor. It's not just, you know, many of them come up because they have back pain or they have some discomfort, but 95% of them get what we call here side benefits. So we go through why our body happens to have those side benefits with us, right? So during this time of COVID, our emergency room and our urgent cares around here, we have about 4 urgent cares and 1 main hospital, and they've been bombarded, you know, and as not just here in San Agustin, I think the whole world, there's a lot of fear of getting contagious, a lot of fear of what's going to happen. They're afraid of going to the doctor. They're afraid to go to the hospital. They're afraid of going to the urgent care if they don't need to. So I think they now realize how much valuable we are, right? Whenever we're trying to deal with either back pain, headaches, or simply because they want an opinion from someone else that is not involved in just those areas as an urgent care and a hospital, right? So when we started coming, we were out of the office for about 10 days just because we wanted to be safe. Everybody was freaking out. So during those 10 days, I made sure that I go here in Jacksonville. They were doing free testing for healthcare providers. So I went and did mine, and it came back negative. That was a Tuesday. Wednesday, we had the cleaning person here cleaning, and Thursday, we were jumping back onto seeing people. So first the thing that I did to activate people was send a text message campaign, rather to send the postcards, right? Because I don't know how the post office system was working or anything like that. We sent a text message campaign pretty much saying, hey, we're here for you. Not just for back pain, but if there's any other health issue that you're having and you want a second opinion, I'm here for you. And that's how everything started. back again, we pretty much our practice have grown so much during these last 3 months. We really haven't stopped. I had to double my hours. I had to add an extra day in my schedule just to be able to meet the necessities of my community.
I love that. And what are you noticing when people come in? What are they saying to you? Are they like so appreciative that you're open? Do you find that they're in tons of fear? What are you noticing?
Dr. Barbara, I hear you with a little bit of echo. So first of all, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're open. I have needed you so bad." That's the first thing they say. They're like, "Oh my God, I have needed you so bad. I'm so glad you're open." Um, Many of them here in Florida, we have pretty bad allergy problems. Very bad allergy problems. I am 1 mile away from the beach. Not just that, pollen has been really bad. Sahara Desert dust has been really bad. So, it's a mixture of things. And plus, to add more, the fear, which definitely lowers our immune system. And not just fear, we are pretty much living on a bubble, and our immune system have had to stop. They're like pretty much stopping our natural system of healing. So when they come, they are like, "I'm so glad." But some people want to hug me.
Aww. I always want to hug you when I see you too.
Right, I think that's a Puerto Rican thing. But I think that what they like is the comfort that there's someone there for them that is gonna listen, and it's going to explain exactly what's going on, not just with our environment, but with our nervous system and how our body is reacting to all of these new things. I think that's the main thing. Another good, big thing is that I don't know if you feel this in your years of practice, but we're almost like psychologists.
Yeah.
Um, they come with a lot of not just physical issues but mental issues, right? They're unsure, they have fear, they have the uncertainty of what's going to happen then, right? They have lost their job and all of that. So just having that comfort to talk about that with a professional definitely have them feeling way better after they leave.
I love that. And thank you so much for being there to serve them. I'm so appreciative, and congratulations I mean, you don't talk to too many business owners that are like, "I'm so busy, I've had to like double my hours." So thank you for stepping in and being part of the solution. As you were talking, I started thinking about when we were all together last year at the boot camp mansion, and I got to spend time with you, and I want to have our audience hear it from your lips about how, as female chiropractors, do we engage with each other in the boot camp? Like, is it really as loving and wonderful as we say it is?
1,000%. One of the first things that when I got out the first consult with you, one of the biggest things for me was that I wanted to start my business, but I wanted to start it right. I don't want to be going through the process and 2 years later finding out I did it incorrectly and I have to start over and change everything that I did in order for me to have a successful practice. That was my biggest thing. So I found a lot of comfort and a lot of guidance in the boot camp. When I started, I knew exactly how I wanted to start my business. I already had my systems in place, my new practice member, my existing practice member. What's gonna happen when this person comes and then doesn't show up again? All of that kind of stuff was like a lot of peace of mind that I was doing it the correct way. And then once I started getting more involved in the boot camp, oh my God, the support is just unbelievable. Most of the people think that chiropractors are competing with each other. And here is like we are encouraging and working with each other on how we can build and build and build, not just personal, right? But a business owner and personal, how we can keep better, 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 and better. So I think that definitely I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't because my support with my tribe in the boot camp. Most of the time, like when I talk to other chiropractors and they see that I'm willing to help, they feel like, really? Why? Why are you so open to help me? And I think that's because that's how I learned it from the beginning. When I stepped into with a question, either you or all my other fellow boot campers were there to help, right? And it wouldn't have been possible for me to do it without that. So I feel like everybody or every chiropractor should definitely have a support system and know that the dream work can be made by the team, So
Yeah.
that's what I think one of the biggest, definitely. So it's not 100% support; it's like 1,000% support.
Aw, thank you. And thanks for all the times that you step up too. One thing about women, we like to lock arms and do things together, right? Like just at the boot camp mansion, having a sleepover and, sharing bed with a stranger, like obviously we were on that top floor together and, just being in community so that you don't feel like you're not just all alone, but there's fear in being alone. I posted on Facebook yesterday of the person who goes it alone is the one that's ravished and beat up, and it doesn't have to be that way. And I love the warmth and the comfort that exists within our tribe because we all genuinely care about each other. I care about your well-being. I think about all of you, and I know boot campers think about each other, like they help each other and create for each other, and I just want to tell you personally, thank you for how many times that you do jump in, and that there isn't a hierarchy. I think in our tribe that everyone has value, whether you're just getting started or you've been in practice for 40 years. There's a hierarchy there. Let me ask you this. What if you were to go back and open, you were just starting out, based on what you've learned now, what would you tell yourself?
Don't be afraid to ask.
Don't be afraid to ask. Okay.
100%. This goes a little bit more personal, but setting boundaries, I think, is being one of the biggest challenge that I have had in my life. Maybe because we were in a loving family where my parents were always like very supportive to everything that we wanted to do, so they never said no, right? So I never had to learn really or be in a position that I needed to set boundaries. And now, or pretty much my parents gave me everything, without me asking. They were there for me, giving me their 100%. So whenever I started my office and I started learning more and more things that I could do to keep growing, the main thing that was challenging for me was to ask, do you know someone else that can benefit from this? That was challenging, even though it's a simple question, right? It was maybe the fear of, like, the people pleaser, maybe the fear of rejection, or like the saying that someone tell me no, or someone be like, no, I don't, like, I don't, and like at the beginning, I would skip that question. I would like skip that question, and just keep going. And as they keep coming, this is the sixth, this is the eighth visit, and I'm like, here, I feel like I can do so much more for you, and I knew exactly what I needed to say, but I didn't pull the trigger until I started, what's the worst thing that can happen? That they say no? Well, okay, I can ask the next person. And that was the biggest thing for me, asking, is there someone else that you can think of that will benefit from this? And Dr. Barbara, 98% of them don't have just one person, have like a list of a handful of people
Right.
that think of that they can help with this, right? And then from there was like, okay, so let's partner up, let's do it together, let's bring them here, right? So that definitely was one of the biggest things for me that I learned. Another thing that I did learn a lot, and that if I would start again, I would do again, is the education part after my visit with my referral gift packet. That's so valuable right there, because they just don't go with that. And I will make sure, I will follow up and be like, hey, do you make sure that you give it to Mary? And they were like, oh no, sorry, I forgot. I'm like, just make sure that she did get it, because I rather she learn from information that has been researched rather than she going to Google and getting the wrong information, you know.
Right.
So that was very valuable right there for me, being able to actually be a resource of evidence base rather than, let me go to Dr. Google and it's telling me to do my curriculum stretch completely wrong.
That's funny, Dr. Google. And what advantages do you feel that you have as a female chiropractor?
Well, I have a few advantages because I'm Hispanic. So I know two languages, and not many people here in San Agustin. I'm the only Hispanic chiropractor within 15 miles where I live on. So that's
Yeah.
a big radius right there.
Yeah.
But as a female chiropractor, people look for the comfort. People look for the listening part. People look for someone that actually care about them. And not just that, I try to make them laugh. I feel I'm a funny person. So every time that I am uh, having a visit with someone, I make sure I get a little, at least a smile out of them. So they start seeing me, I'm young. So I get many people that think, oh my God, you're like my daughter, or you're my granddaughter, so it's all of that, giving comfort to the person. I think that's been one of the biggest, as a female chiropractor. They feel that you're nurturing and that you care and that you really are there for them, rather than, my fiance is a chiropractor, so it's just like they talk about other things. It's a visit, I won't say without meaning, but not without health meaning.
Yeah.
It's more about sports, it's more about fun, fishing, surfing, and all of that, but not really what actually matters with the person or what's actually going on their heart or their head.
That's a really great point, that just as a female, I think it just naturally makes it easier to have those conversations and to feel like we're going to be heard, and maybe that things are going to be a little bit slower and I don't have to be as defensive. And this isn't a slam against any man. I think it's just the way that it is. I mean, God didn't make men and women the same. We have different characteristics. We have different genetic makeup. We have different, for crying out loud, our pelvises are different, right? Like, you remember that in X-ray, right? That you knew if it was a female or male pelvis based on the iliums, right? And so I think there's so many advantages to being a female, for sure, and makes it such a great day to celebrate National Female Women Chiropractors Day. So let me ask you this. I've been asking everyone I've interviewed today, what are some of your mantras? Like, what do you tell yourself? I mean, obviously, how you're doing your practice and as successful as you are isn't the norm. I mean, that's not like a big secret, right? Like most of people who are new into business aren't at capacity like you are. So that always starts with our mindset, right? Like our mindset drives our future. What do you tell yourself that is a part of your success formula?
And I have to start with this. We're human. So this is something that it has to be worked on a daily basis. And sometimes in the morning basis, in the afternoon basis, in an hourly basis. It's not that just because I woke up today in such a good mood, the rest of my day goes just like that, right? So there is this scripture from the Bible, from John, the book of John. I want to say chapter 16, verse 14, that says, Eliana and Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. I start with that. I don't know why. I print that out and put it on my car. Every time that I get into my car, that's the first thing that I read of. And definitely made me feel that I am not alone. So that's another thing I say. Something that really changed me was starting to do some positive affirmations in the morning. So I say, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help heal the world. I'm gonna help heal my town. I am capable of doing this. I'm powerful. My hands are powerful, because that's another thing. People think that female chiropractors are not as strong as a man chiropractor. I have very strong hands, and I say that to myself, no, to let myself know that I am capable of doing this. Another thing that I do tell myself, it's okay to feel down, but it's not okay to drag this to your day.
Mm,
Why
right.
am I feeling down? Why am I feeling down right now? Maybe I didn't sleep well. Maybe, I don't know, I just woke up like that, right? So I just make sure that before I step into my practice and before I step into my first patient or my first practice member that I'm going to see that day, I am clear on I didn't wake up today to drain my energy into someone. I'm here today to really boost the energy of someone else, and in return boost my energy by helping them. Those are like my biggest like mantras that I go through. uh, Another thing is like listening to positive things and listening to badass women. I love Jen Sincero. Even though I have heard her book like a million times, I feel like whenever I have just one of those episodes, right, I make sure that at least if I'm listening to 1 minute of her book, I feel much better starting with the rest of my day.
And I love that you have rituals. Like rituals are so important, that
100%.
we have our rituals for success, that we have. Can you hear me?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. That and then we cling to those, right? Like who am I at the beginning of the day, and how do I want my day to be? Like we get to control that way more than I think a lot of individuals exercise that privilege to be able to control the day. So as we wrap this up, what message from your heart do you want your chiropractic sisters from around the world to hear today?
First of all, thank you all for listening. I hope this serves as an inspiration that doesn't matter where you start or from where you are, and you're starting in somewhere completely different from where your home is. You're capable of doing this. People appreciate and value your knowledge. People appreciate and value all the help that you do for them. And if you need help to start something that you feel is gonna help not just your future self but your present self, ask for help, because uh, teamwork makes the dream work, and that's definitely have been a big motto for me during all this time. If I wasn't with a big group of people supporting and going with me through all of this together, I'll be going crazy. I
Right.
definitely wouldn't be surviving right now. So we're not just surviving, we're thriving into all of this, and we're in this together. We are all with the same purpose, that is definitely uh, growing not just our practice, but also growing the health and value in our community.
So true. I I can't top that. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Barbara. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much for being with me today. And to all of you, thank you so much, Cindy. I agree. This girl is wonderful.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
If you guys ever need help, my full name is Eliana Melendez. You can reach out to me. And then my practice name is Changing Tides Chiropractic and Wellness, and you can also reach out through there.
There you have it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Barbara. I hope you have a
Give
great weekend.
Thank you to you too. Have happy Women Chiropractors Day.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.